Hey guys, Doug the Retirement Guy here. We got a new video for you. This actually come from one of our Patreon supporters, and they were asking if you had 4 ETF funds, where would you put your money right now? And what's so crazy about this is we have 4 ETFs paying monthly dividends. And you know on this channel, we love monthly dividends. And they are paying an average 11.71% dividend. And the shocker of this one that blew themselves away when we presented it to them, it's growing their dividends by 19.94%. This is going to help your retirement income grow, and it's going to help your fund dramatically make a big change. Let's show you the four ETFs that we have. Well, first off, a goal of adding to a retirement account is you want investments to grow. You want your income from investments, and then you want to relax and be worry-free. So our best ETF picks that we did started off with, our first ETF has an upside of 40.42% already. They're paying a 13.25% dividend yield. Now, the only downside to it is they have not increased their dividend as of yet. Our second ETF is giving you a 9.85% up, a 12.3% average yield, and they're increasing their dividend by 4.50%. Our third ETF up 4.49. Their yield is 11.21, and they're giving a 44% increase in their dividends over the year. Now, our fourth one is a 29.02% up, a 10.31% yield, and a 10.88% dividend increase. So that gives us a target to shoot for of a 17% average growth, an 11.71% monthly yield, a dividend paying monthly yield, and a 19.94% growth of those dividends. So the whole plan here is you buy them today, 3 years from now, your dividends are going to be outrageously high and making probably 15 to 18%. Our first ETF fund is 2x Bitcoin Strategy ETF, better known as BITX. Now, Bitcoin Strategy ETF basically is a linked ETF that seeks to provide daily investment results of 2 times the Bitcoin movement for the day. Now, you can see their dividends that they're paying out has been fairly steady across the board. They are now at a 54-cent on average dividend payout. Okay, they had a slight drop off in the early January, February, and March, and has corrected itself right back forward. Now, here's the thing we love the most on this one. It has a 1-year return of 45.38%. That is unheard of in today's market. It pays a 13.25% yield and pays it monthly. That means it's paying out an annual $6.76 of payoff to you. Now, we look at this and we see the strategy and we see what's going on. As you can see, the stock has grown 1 year up 45%. Now, here's the thing that we start looking at. The average price of this fund is $40.90. The current price is at $52.84. That's already 29% above average. But when we take a look at a breakdown of this, and this is where it really gets, I call, exciting to this. In May, they had a 15.66% up rate. April was 24.35. So the whole tariff thing had absolutely nothing to do with Bitcoin. It did not change one thing of this fund. Now in March, it did have the first little setback, which is negative 9.88% down. But when you take those 3 months time together, you will see this is a huge, almost a 30% increase in just 90 days. So when we take a look at 1 month out, you're at 43.72%, 6 months, 0.08, Year to date, they're down 6.01, but for 1 year, they're up 45.38%. So this fund does have a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but you can see it recovers fairly quickly. Now our next ETF is STF Technical Growth and Income ETF. Now these guys are managing long-term growth and capital, and they're also set up for monthly income with very little downside. This one is going after the NASDAQ 100, and they also use treasury bonds and bills to give them additional income. Now, these guys have a return right now of 0.99%. They're paying out $2.83 annually, but they've had a growth rate of 4.5% of their dividend. And you can see they're down now to 20 cents, but they've been up in a higher level because they are paying a 12.08% yield monthly. When we look at them breaking down, their big problem was the April tariffs. What happened for the April? They didn't know what was going to happen. You see that with all the stocks out there, and the NASDAQ 100 definitely was going to happen. So here's the advantages that we have now. The average price is $23.36. The current price is $23.27. So you're about 39 or 0.39% below average. When we take a look at the long-term run, 1 month, they're up 10.99%. I look at that and say, look at the chart. They hit their bottom in April, and they have now come back, rocketed up, readjusted, and now they're rocketing back up to where they should be. So basically, it's a buying time for that stock. 6 months out, they were down 2.62 because of the March and April drop-off. Now, year to date, they say they're down 2.30%, and they're up 1.25 for the year. So this stock is making some big changes very quickly. Because you look at May, it's up 8.38%. The April, which ate up a lot of the gains that they had, is down 0.46, but March is where they're really seeing the number of negative 8.37. So we're really looking at a time right now when March and April is hurting all stocks. This one has actually been able to not only recover, that's why you see the big number in May, but they're recovering, and we're going to recover for the whole year. So it's a time to be invested into this, especially when you start looking at that dividend of that 12.08% that they're paying out. Our next fund is Arrow Dow Jones Global Yield, GYLD. Now this one here, you can see, because of what they're doing, they're going to have an adjustable dividend on a fairly regular basis. Because what these guys are doing is they're into the global composite index and the Dow Jones. So they are doing covered calls. They're doing the things that you need to do to generate income. And that's why you'll see the big jumps up and down on a fairly regular basis. We put this one in there for a simple reason. Already this year, they're up 4.44%. They're also paying an 11.21% yield, and they're paying it monthly. And I think the icing on the cake of this one, they're paying $1.44 annually, but their growth of the dividend overall is a 44.44% gain. So they're growing their dividend, even though I know you guys are going to put this thing in the comment. What are you talking about? This thing is up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. When you do the average across the board, they are up over 44%. Now we'll take a look at their stock performance, how it's doing. And you can see they've had a fairly steady line until we get to the April mark. Even the March stuff didn't really do much to it, but we had a huge drop off in the April category. But again, we look at it, it's rocketing out of the bottom back up to where it's supposed to be. So the average price over 52 weeks is $12.99. The current price of $12.87 gives you about a 1% advantage. that you could actually buy now and probably have a nice little extra 1% gain without doing anything. But we look at this in May, they're up 2.44%. They dropped 3.10% in April. In March, they were up 1.17. So like I said, again, this is not a fast mover. This is not something that is going to rocket to huge numbers, but it's going to be a steady, steady pace. And when you add in that 11.21% monthly dividend paying out stock, it's going to put money in your pocket. 1 month out, you're at 2.44%, 6 months, 3.1, year to date, 4.29. Year to date, that includes the April drop off. So you can see they're doing very, very well. 1 year, they're down 4.31%. But overall, this stock is a smooth runner. And our final stock is the ETRACS monthly paying, better known as HDLM or LB. Now this one is a leveraged, 2 times leveraged, the US dividend low velocity ETN Series B. Now, that's a lot to say in one word. Basically what it is they're finding the high paying dividends that don't have a lot of change, they don't have a lot of ups and downs through it, and they're trying to put you a program that they can control. And you can see this here, they are basically sitting around about 13.9 cents dividend share that they're paying out. It pays a 10.31 yield month, and they pay that monthly. The 1 year return on this is 11.19%. So the whole goal that we were trying to find here with people is the ones that are having returns that you can bank on, dividends that are paying you monthly, and these guys are still paying $1.49 a year in dividends, and they're looking to grow their dividends by 10.88%. When we look at the stock market across the board on this GYLD, you will see they are up 6.9% over their 52-week average. So even with the April drop off and with the March adjustments, these guys are still cranking it. They got the business plan working the way they wanted to do. When we take a look at what's going on in May, they're down 1.38%. April, they dropped down 6.92%, but for March, they were up 3.5 or 3.5%. When we look at the long-term picture, they're up 4.85 for 1 month, down 1.42 for 6 months, up 10.22% year to date, and for 1 year, they're up 22.82%. Okay, so this is where we're looking at this and saying this is a fund that's not only going to pay you a regular dividend, but it's got the potential to continue to grow your value. The stock value will continue to go up. You know, how would you like to have 10% growth on a particular stock ETF fund this year when most of the stuff in my categories are down? So in summary, guys, did we have investment growth? We definitely did. We have gained almost 15.5% gain in our funds. Our income, we're averaging 11.71% average, and it's paying monthly dividend. So can we relax and be worry-free? Sure we can. We're collecting $11,710 from a $100,000 investment into these 4 ETFs. That's not talking about that 15% gain. That's talking just raw dividend payouts. So if we take around and say this, you're going to have over $15,000 just in gains alone if you would have invested in these. Now, don't forget, the dividend income has an average of 19.94% growth as we continue. So we have hit the home run. I would call it almost a grand slam. You have great growth in double digits in down markets. You have an 11% double digit average paying dividends and paying monthly. And you're taking a look at a growth rate that's going to take you up to 19.94% of dividend growth. So this thing today will continue to pay out and down the road. Guys, this is Doug, the Retirement Guy. If you like what we're doing, give us that thumbs up. Don't miss any of our videos. We have a ton coming out on ETFs and also on high-paying monthly dividend stocks. Also, if you like what we're doing or don't like what we're doing, leave us a comment. We want to hear from our people. We want to hear what you like and don't like, or what you want to see us put the videos out for. Everything helps our channel grow, and we're hoping to help you grow your pocketbooks, and we'll see you next time.